oral bula dol bije watre buka bara fendi na mu yalon ko mal la fang be ko mu fang lay ci so fang kono wol be ma fiale wol kaku haram rengol mu mire hakilo kono woning ala mir woning ala la ko wo buka ka kilente son tel kawol jela ko mu mo balete wol mu alma balete wol mu okay mo bal bi jele wo category wol 1 dol bi jele mu yalon ko ika sali be salila bari ilaw salo ani ilaw kube ka munke after salita ani ka taibe joyala ibe wuliya fola after ilaw 5 times salo o ibe ku kela o ibe mo mako la pour ka mo tinya o ku pour ka korda tinya o ka mol tinya o ka ku o ye mo mako sunya rola o ye mo mako e jenola ye mo organize mo flow organize ye jenoke ba okay saba njangol nying wol ka diamule ko mol timule alon ko mu ye ala long itele fendim fo mol nyanta la wala le so e ko kari le afo baro kari nying e so kono fendim bijeto ala la ko lem ni ko kari le ati afodron to nyalem adu wo dollem wol fana mol wol bijele mule alon ko ibe munekela fo taraje ibe tar la fenta ya kono because ja jamme fongole afa ko muna na kuto kalabari tilikando kono I'll never forget this. Because yalong dunia moli kedami ike bondino jele. It's very simple. Iko bulo mu jato city wo bulu kilingole ka jato firi. So it's very simple. Mol muli sindi je wo mol le lafte bondi laje. Adu actually wo mol me sindi je to fa ite natale ye power nyinta by force. So ya jamela ko keta wala nyam. Bari mune fanan keta ya jamela mistake oti this time. Let's come back to that. Wolem nyinti ko. I mistake ba leke. Mistake ko mu ya lonko. Wolem wala downfall ti on Friday the 2nd of December. That mistake Walamala down faulty for the rest of his life. Despite I molmul befa and I molmul I kukurungol mulke I gambela kodo mun sunya anabe wulianin jeno mun na banko kan anabe mol abe siol dundula nyonka nyami pure kele aning abe kasamas rebellion support kan nyami aning abe hasidiala manding call kan nyami because of manding call ako UDP manding call nyat UDP nyaton call wol mum manding call leti adu UDP mu party leti mu yalon ko ka kumol mul fon wol buka diaye yalo so wala na UDP kong I manding call kong at the same time because mune mu manding call le majority in UDP adu manding call le nyaton call tije but UDP man ka manding call da mala party that's his problem. I didn't ko you believe in democracy, you believe in rule of law, the constitution is there. Munat nete mala for constitutional etama. Ite mo kilingol ite mo yalon ko birinata in 1994. Iko accountability, transparency, and rule of law. But birite bulo bula leo dumbo kono drong. Inyata accountability la, inyata transparency la. Ite you are not transparent. Yete nyin kale fang iko ikejo jolle la karo. Ite nyin fengol beso to ikejo jolle la karo. Iko mari manyane olona o manyane ite nyin kale question. Who are you? The Gambian people pay your salary. Gambian leke jo. Ila karifa joro jori Gambian leke jo. So ite you have lots of explanation to the Gambian masses, to the Gambian population, to the Gambian taxpayer. So, well, Jammeh a problem. I blame Jammeh, but I blame Jammeh, but I blame those people muri alonko ika Jammeh ibe Jammeh normally hansai. Ika bula Jammeh normally. Ntenga ole blame. Nga recording dolle kenum bi because manna nu juna radio to program i mix program i mix tale so mba trala lembe ngala mwenyo na TFM kuol mumbe ke kan Gambia I finally akele live edition, you know, a special edition on TFM nga try nga dol audio dol record jeto fanang aning ceremony bribe the I think 49 or 300 soldiers ibe promote la to different ranks within the army, within the GNA ngofana record label. That guy was a comedian, man. I'll try and find out his name. Matolom, but many people know him anyway. He's the commander-in-chief of the National Army, you know. So, but that guy, Muyalo Akasafo, was Safi Jamati on them out of Fangolo. Anyway, let's try this one. We don't know how the quality is going to be on this one. Anyway, you're listening to Amrogal FM. It's 17 minutes past midnight in London City.
And as a reminder, the top stories here on Al Jazeera, and the Turkish Interior Minister says there's been 2 explosions in the football stadium in Istanbul. At least there are what Americans call collateral damage, that civilians do get caught into this in these very, very nasty campaign. Nevertheless, I think that the fact that this attack, we can read into the timing of these attacks relevant to that. Normally, these kind of attacks, their planning takes a long time, so it may be coincidence. Nevertheless, I think that that the fact that so it surprised many around the world when he conceded defeat last week in the recent election. His rival Adam Barrow won 45.5% of the vote, while he got 36.7%. It depends on your calendar. You are the president-elect now. I'm the outgoing president. So you give us time. For his people and those who know him, pictures of him on the phone congratulating his rival looked promising. I will never rule this country without your mandate since we started elections. And I will never cheat or dispute the election.
You are disputing me with it now.
The most transparent, leak-proof elections in the whole world. Too good to be true was perhaps how Gambians really felt at the time, but they had suppressed it in the hope they might be wrong. They took to the streets to celebrate what appeared to be one of the most peaceful transitions of power in Africa. But with Jammeh now rejecting the very same results he accepted last week, uncertainty and despair will likely return. His move is seen as a possible reaction to demands by some in the opposition, but he should be tried for crimes he may have committed while in power. Perhaps more than ever before, the Gambia is on the brink of a dangerous phase of its modern history. Mohammed Fahd, Al Jazeera. Various rallies.
Right, yes. Jammeh is not playing it right. And Jammeh, he's got the wrong end of the stick. I'm telling you, he's got everything mixed up. He's got it wrong. Because for him, what didn't Jammeh know that he's the one who called the press conference when calling Barrow? And that recording would remain forever and ever, and is in multiple platforms, in multiple devices, in everywhere around the world. You can never retrieve that. You can never delete that, Jammeh. You can lock off the internet system and the telephone networks in the Gambia, and the power, the GUC or whatever you call it now, NAVEC or whatever. You can lock that off, but you cannot retrieve or delete all those evidences, all those videos that you Yahya Jammeh, Yahya Jemos, AJJ, Doctor, Professor, Alhaji, is it Babili Mansa? He's an idiot. Yaya Jammeh, I don't think Yaya Jammeh has watched the life history of Idi Amin. All those titles, unnecessary titles, Yaya Jammeh. That shows how vain you are. That shows how vain the man is. That shows how do you call it? He's how do you call it? He's someone who has never expected to be in such a position or to have access to the National Fund and to the National Treasury and the National Treasures once he found himself at the head of the state. So he took that opportunity to enrich himself, to steal from the Gambian port, to enrich himself. But he's on his way out. He's running away. He has to run away. He has to run away. But our advice to people now is for people to understand that Jammeh was the problem. Okay, this is from TFM. Let's leave you with this one.
Population bi ñom tamit ben problème bañ leen dal lolu fogg na lu am solo la ñu tek ci benen communiqué bo xamanteni.
This is the Senegalese network TFM, okay? Yes, TFM.
BIPA mom moko def ak Union africaine ak Nations Unies. Nenañu ñom ñu ngi d'abord approuver position réewu Sénégal. Xam nga réewu Sénégal dafa condamner demb li xew Gambie condamné loolu ba pare saisir toutes les instances muy CEDEAO muy Union africaine muy Conseil de sécurité tey gi donc kuréel yooyu ñetti kuréel yooyu ñu ngi rafetlu taxawaayu Sénégal ci loolu te ñu ngi wax itam ñoom ñett na président Yaya Jammeh jël matuwaay yëpp pour transition bi mën a am ci jàmm mën a am ci dal mën a am surtout ci respecter loi yi nga xamanteni ñoom ñooy organiser foofu ci réewu Gambie kon daal xibaar boobu lañ leen bëggoon jottali am na ay réaction yoo xamanteni léegi dinañ ko mën jël ci téléphone mais Aïcha Dabo nekk journaliste gambienne moo nekk ci ligne bi Aïcha Dabo ñu ngi lay nuyu. waaw Aïcha Dabo dégg nga communiqué yi nga xamante ni wadd na conseil de sécurité de l'ONU def na communiqué am na beneen communiqué boo xamante ni conseil de sécurité Union africaine ak CEDEAO ñoo ko signé nee nañu daal fu nekk nii li ñu bëgg mooy Yaya Jammeh bàyyi nguur gi jébbal leng bi maanaam mooy Adama Barrow di président bi ñu fal surtout teg ci loolu transition bi dañ ko war a def sans condition ak sans délai yow nan nga gisee loolu Aïcha Dabo.
man xanaa rafetlu loolu parce que taxawaay bu ñu am loolu lañu war a am taxawaay boobu lañ leen population gambienne séentoo parce que Gambie na ñu leen di noot ñuy muñ at yi yëpp nanguwuñu nag dañ ñu daan tooñ ne ñun duñ jóg ñu yëngu waaye bëgguñu ñëwoon problème parce que Gambie ñun ñëpp a bokk dëkk bu tuuti la famille yi dañ liggéey di nga gis famille boo xam ne mu ngi côté Jammeh mu am beneen famille boo xam ne si côté opposition bi la nekk wala mu nekk victime donc ñu bëgg a def doxal yëf yi ci yoon ñu xaar ba élection yi ñu voté mobilisation bi yàgg na coordination bi yàgg na entre diaspora ak population gambienne bi ñu fexe jigéen yi génn jeunes yi génn ñëpp xam ne dañu war a am benn candidat pour voter ñu génnee fa Jammeh fi jàmm mu dem bi mu accepté résultat yi ñëpp rafetlu ko waaye séntuwuñ ko woon nag parce que ni mu doxalee ajuma jikko boobu lañ gën a xam ci moom waaye daf ñu bett ñu ne bii de moom kon dalal na xelu nit ñi ñu doon xalaat ne dina bëgg a xeex dina bëgg a yëngal dëkk bi waaye doxee